every day of my life I ball.
This is Brandon Marshall, linebacker for the Denver Broncos, and you're listening to Baller Alert.
So, Brandon, starting with you, you've been in the news a lot, and a lot of it having to do with you taking a stance against police brutality and racism. And I know you played in college with Colin Kaepernick. Before you decided to sit out the national anthem the way he was doing, did you guys have a conversation?
No, actually, we didn't have a conversation. I just remember I was heading back home from a preseason. I think we was in Arizona. I was going back to Denver, and I was watching his interview. And honestly, what he said just touched me. You know what I mean? It touched me, and honestly, that's what kind of ignited the fire within me. And I decided to do it myself.
Perfect. We actually here at Baller Alert, we love that. We love anyone who's actually standing up for something that they believe in, especially when it comes to racism, because that's something that's not talked about. Like it's almost like people try to ignore it. If you ignore it, it goes away. But as you can see,
absolutely,
last year it's been crazy. It's like people are coming out in the forefront with it, right?
Yeah, it's almost like some people believe it doesn't exist anymore. But I really feel like the people that believe it doesn't exist, they're naive, or they haven't grew up in that type of environment. They don't know what it's like to be a minority.
Right.
I received a letter, calling me all kind of N-words and racial slurs and threats and stuff like that. And, I want to expose it because I want to let it be known that this stuff still exists. And some people are blind and saying, oh, this, you have a black president, there's no racism, that's absurd.
Absolutely. That definitely has not absolved us from having to deal with racism. And I know after you took a stance, your response was, I guess you got a little bit of both. You had, of course, we as black people, we were right behind you, the fact that you were taking a stance. But then you did lose a couple of sponsors. Like, what was your thought process when you realized that you lost those endorsements? How were you feeling at the time?
Honestly, I wasn't really worried about it, if they didn't want to back me on what I believed in, then it wasn't a company for me. And, it's crazy because I know some people, when I stood back up again, after, I spoke with the chief of police and they decided to review or change their policies on use of force, people say, oh, he stood up because he lost some endorsements. But I stood up after 9 weeks, you know what I mean? And I lost my endorsements after the first game. So that had nothing to do with me standing up at all. And I lost some endorsements, but it's to me, there was going to be more that will come. They already paid me most of the money anyway, so I wasn't really tripping.
I feel that. And a lot of people today are talking about Kanye West meeting with Donald Trump, which is really a shocker for a lot of people, but some people kind of saw it coming because Kanye did mention that he would have voted for Donald Trump. What are your thoughts on the meeting? Do you feel like Kanye's in the wrong for meeting with Trump? Are you shocked?
I'm not shocked. Kanye is kind of a wild card. He's kind of a wild card. I'm not shocked.
Okay.
if he said he was going to vote for him, then people should have expected him to meet with him. The guy openly said that. You feel me? So
right.
I'm not shocked at all. I see Kanye as a wild card, so you never know what he's going to do.
Absolutely. And my last question for you, because I know you got to get going. Over the weekend, Aqib Talib did say that I have to ask you about this one.
Oh, man.
He had a few things to say about Harry Douglas and his dirty play against Chris Harris. Said he, and I quote, was going to beat Harry Douglas's ass. Has that been a discussion, or has anybody been talking about that since that interview?
Yeah, we definitely talked about it. And let me tell you something, man. Aqib is probably, I'll say Aqib is about that. I'll just leave it at that. If he says it, Aqib about it. So he's one of them dudes that he plays no games. He keeps it real, And, you know, it was a dirty play. You know, it was a dirty play, and everybody saw it. So, you know, obviously our coach was like, oh, well, you know, I agree with you, Aqib. Maybe you shouldn't have said it out in public, but that's Aqib, though, man. He's going to speak his mind no matter what.
That he will. That he will. Well, thank you so much, Brandon.